GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Are you busy during the week and have no time to go to the credit union to access your loans? Do you wish there were more days available to you? We can help. Our Loan Saturday is back by popular demand this and every Saturday at the GUT Credit Union Grandance Branch, Excel Plaza. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing that you have access to your credit union even on a weekend. So come on in and take advantage of our services every Saturday. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening. This is Network News for Tuesday, November 8, 2022. In the headlines, heavy downpours leave parts of St. George and St. David flooded. Medical officers warn of the complications and seriousness of diabetes as they see increase in diabetic patients. Online users encouraged to see themselves in cyber as Grenada recognizes Cyber Awareness Month. In Around the Globe regionally, Guyana joins forces with Brazil on vaccination campaign. Internationally, mass burial held in Tanzania for 19 victims of plane crash on Sunday. Plus in the sports news, MacDonald College and South City Rising Stars cop top positions in cross-country championship. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue. Available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
From Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. Several parts of St. George and St. David were flooded due to the inclement weather today. Severe flooding was seen at the lower part of River Road, where construction of defense walls for the St. John's River project continues. Roland Michi Charles posted this video from St. David.
Folks, La Colombe. This is La Colombe Bridge. Yeah.
Weather models signal that the axis of an Atlantic tropical wave should traverse the island chain on Wednesday morning, inducing cloudiness, showery activity, periods of rain, and a medium chance of thunderstorms across the state of Grenada if conditions within the wave environment remain favorable. According to forecasters at the Met Office, there is a medium chance of flooding and/or landslides between Wednesday and Friday if moderate or heavy showers or prolonged periods of rainfall occur. Live joining us on the telephone now is forecaster Jason Robertson. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, good evening.
Right, so the weather today, inclement weather, no doubt. A lot of flooding has happened, in particular in St. George and St. David. Give us a sense of what caused it all.
Well, we had some area of convection that passed through this morning towards the south and center of the island that give us this heavy downpour, moderate to heavy downpour that results in this type of activity.
Okay, right. And so in the next 24 hours, tell us about the conditions which we can expect or should expect.
Well, there is a tropical wave with its axis along 56 by earlier in the morning. The axis should be in the vicinity of the island, and this could produce some instability and giving us some more showers, which could be moderate to heavy. And then as a result, then we could have minor flooding and small-scale slide possible because the ground is already soaked.
Okay, so is it safe to say that people in low-lying areas need to pay particular attention?
Well, yes, people in low-lying areas and in vulnerable areas especially.
All right. Okay, very well indeed. Okay, so we'll keep tabs with the Metro office at Maurice Bishop International Airport for more information as and when it becomes available. All right. Forecaster Jason Robertson, thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Now, an 8-point action plan was recently launched to promote media and information and literacy and combat mis- and disinformation. Gerard Joseph has the details.
During the launch of a situation report and action plan for media and information literacy and disinformation in the Caribbean last week, the importance of building strong foundations in the information era resonated. Paul Hector, representing UNESCO, noted that the foundations of facts, not fantasy, and reliable information, not disinformation, must be the building blocks, as facts continue to be undermined by rumors and disinformation.
I think, as you recall, Maria Ressa, journalist and winner of the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize, she underscored the fact that a world without facts means a world without truth and trust. And if we don't have truth and trust, we will not be able to conquer any of these major challenges that face us today.
Grenada was part of the 8 countries that participated in the situation report, produced in collaboration with the Media Institute of the Caribbean, the Association of Caribbean Media Workers, and with support from the UNESCO Cluster Office for the Caribbean.
Fortunately, along with partners like those who gathered here and others, we can and are taking bold steps to reverse this trend. We're building the public's capacity for critical thinking and helping to take steps to restore trust in information and also restore trust in journalism.
Coming from the report are proposed recommendations for enabling sustainable and effective media standards to improve media information literacy across the issues of disinformation and trust in news, and explore potential solutions and innovations for media information literacy in the Caribbean region.
Media and information literacy, that is to say, the interrelated competencies to effectively navigate the new information, digital, and communication landscapes of emerging knowledge societies, is truly indispensable. Journalists play a key role in producing and disseminating public interest information. So the work of journalists of filtering, checking, analyzing facts is central and becomes even more important than ever, given these circumstances.
Recognizing the key role journalists play in ensuring that information is a public good, Hector impresses that measures are needed to strengthen journalists' ability and capacity to function properly. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The youngest member of parliament speaks on politics and what he would like to see for young people like himself. Here's the report.
The youngest senator in Grenada's parliament, Nilan Franklin, says he has always wanted to be of service to people. And now that he has accepted this position, he takes it seriously. As a young senator, Franklin, a member of the New National Party, believes now is the time for young people to get involved in politics. He pointed to the National Youth Parliament as one area that stimulates potential youth development.
It's important that we understand where we are going, not just as Grenadians, but people in the world, human beings generally. When you look at the political demographic globally, you realize that it's more the middle age to the upper age or older folks, and they make decisions that would affect us as the younger generation. It is important, in my view, for us as young people to get involved so that the policymakers could understand how we feel and what we think is best for us.
The young senator says he believes he has a responsibility to set a positive standard for others to follow.
This is an excellent opportunity, and it's one that has to be looked at carefully on my path, because I don't want to obscure the ability of, or hinder the ability of other young people, or the perception of other young people of politics, and deter them from wanting to get involved. And I think I will use the opportunity to encourage as much young people to get involved.
Appearing on GBN's To The Point program Tuesday, Franklin noted a great part of his grooming came from within the walls of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. The young senator was put on the spot somewhat by host GT when he was asked this question, to which he responded as such.
You know, if an opportunity for you is presented to you to go further in this, to help in further nation building, would you accept it? When I'm saying opportunity, well, the current party says, you know, Neil, and I think we could offer you a place in this in the government that could lead you to help in further develop in Grenada. Would that be something you would consider?
Like I said earlier, I depend heavily on the Almighty Father to guide me, and at this time I don't want to be one who opposes for opposing's sake, but to give criticism where criticism is due and necessary, and to hold, especially the current administration, because they've campaigned on things and made promises that a lot of, especially young people, expect and expected to see. So my responsibility now is to hold them accountable to what they've promised and what they are doing.
Christina John, GBN News.
This is Network News. Still ahead from us, medical officers warn of the complications and seriousness of diabetes as they see increase in diabetic patients. We'll talk about that.
Pfizer celebrates 75 years of transforming lives with its celebratory suite of loan products. Own your own vehicle, education, land, or home, and anchor your roots. Start living the life you deserve by applying for an Own Your Own loan at reduced interest rates. Simplify your life and consolidate all your debts by applying for a Simplify loan, and open doors to new beginnings and explore more opportunities to shape your future. Call or send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987 or email us at loans@arisecu.com today to continue your journey towards financial freedom. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, celebrating 75 years of transforming lives.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Yar, shiver me timbers. What's this? Free tile?
Ooh, free tile? We've got to go capture this treasure.
Full speed ahead! Yar, with prices like these, there's no need to plunder at all. Free tiles for Christmas is back at Island Style.
Yo ho ho! Buy 100 tiles at the regular price, get up to 20 tiles absolutely free! Magnificent!
Remember, when you think tile, think Island Style. Yar, maybe I should tell my fellow pirate elf, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, I think he's busy fighting monsters these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 12th edition of the Wagiti Super Knockout is down to its top 16 stage. And this Saturday, 12th November, come witness 2 huge games at the Granny James Athletic Stadium from 7 p.m. Hurricanes Sports Club versus 5 Stars St. Andrews. And Game 2, St. John Sports versus Paradise FC International. Then after the games, we get set for the trending Jamaican artist, Silk Moss. Silk Moss. And from Barbados, Mossville. Also the Red Alert Band, Little Jello and Temptress. Admission $30, bleachers $40 main stand. The 12th edition of the Wagiti Super Knockout is on. Don't miss a game.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily Pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play Pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money
Kenny's Trucking and Equipment Services Limited. Now introducing Portland King Cement, Grenada's toughest and most high-quality cement. Engineered with you in mind. Whether it's residential or industrial construction, Portland King Cement has been tested to achieve profound results that you can trust. The choice is clear. Choose Portland King, tougher than the rest. Visit Kenny's Trucking and Equipment Services Limited on Dusty Highway. Call telephone number 439-6605 or 440-6605. Or visit our 2 other locations, Wester Hall in St. David and Dunfermline in St. Andrew. Now available at Carrico Building Supplies. Telephone number 443-7015 or on mobile 403-1563.
I got my birthday money and I am going to save it. I got my toys money and I am going to save it.
Children, can you tell me what you're saving for?
I'm saving for a bicycle. I'm saving for a laptop. I'm saving for a video game. I'm saving for my first family vacation.
Whatever the savings goal, a Right Start account at Republic Bank helps children plan today for a brighter tomorrow. Account holders get free Republic Bank tokens, earn discounts at various merchants island-wide, and are eligible for a Republic ATM card. Introduce your children to the benefits of early saving. Sign up for a Right Start account today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Grenada. The time for the national census is here again. Interviewers will be visiting your homes to gather information about you and your family. The data you provide determines budget allocation for health, grant funding for community projects, and government assistance for families and the elderly. The census is required by law, and so is your participation. We assure you that your information will be kept confidential. Do your part. Stand up and be counted, because we all count in this census. For more information about the census and your participation, contact the Grenada Central Statistical Office at 440-1369 or cso@cso.gov.gd.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building
or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Center Grenada has seen an increase in diabetic patients, an increase from 10% to 12% in recent times.
Diabetes, according to the Center for Disease Control, is the 7th leading cause of death worldwide. Access to diabetes care, education to protect tomorrow is the theme for World Diabetic Day, which will be observed on November 14th, 2022. Dr. Carol Martin, Doctor of Nursing Practice, explains.
According to the latest update on the International Diabetic Federation, 12.6% of Grenadians are diagnosed with diabetes. Who have a sedentary lifestyle, if you have a history of diabetes, if you do not exercise, you do not eat right, you will eventually have diabetes because these are some of the complications, these are some of the risk of becoming a diabetic. The mentality has to change in terms of understanding that if your grandmother has had it or your mother had it, you don't necessarily have to have it, or you can manage it, so it's not a family trait, it's a disease that can be prevented.
Marcia Charles, Secretary at the Grenada Diabetic Association, says she wants the Grenadian public to be aware of the complications and seriousness of diabetes. The association will conduct a number of activities to mark the occasion, beginning with a church service and health fair, among others.
We just want to invite persons, especially the whole of Grenada, to be part of the Blue Fridays. Every Friday we are asking every citizen to wear blue as we, being compassionate with persons who have diabetes. One of the things we want persons to know is to know their numbers, know how much your cholesterol is, know how much the number for your blood pressure, know those things, because these are some of the complications of having diabetes. So we just want to encourage persons as we go through the month and as you learn, please be aware that it is really a serious issue and the complications that come with it. And one of the things we notice is the renal failure, and it's just a pity.
Dr. Martin highlighted the different types of diabetes.
And diabetes is known as juvenile diabetes, and it is usually seen in the teenagers and young adults. There is no production of insulin in that diabetic range. Type 2 is where the pancreas makes insulin, but not enough. That age usually ranges from 20 to 79 or so. Gestational diabetes is during the pregnancy times when the woman is pregnant and is usually diagnosed until the child is born. And also the mother is not diagnosed after she gives birth.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
The Pan American Health Organization is on a quest to strengthen Grenada's immunization system. More in this report.
People's hesitance to vaccines are still very high. An engagement this week involving participants of the Pan American Health Organization seeks to strengthen the country's immunization system and increase acceptance and confidence in vaccines. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says the time has come for a paradigm shift to improve the country's immunization rates. According to the CMO, immunization is one of the most important public health interventions known to have led to the control of many non-communicable diseases.
Safe injection practices, quality vaccines, and the monitoring of ESAVI. And this is the reason why this event is very important. I hope that you will find this workshop very useful as we aim to continue to build capacity to effectively monitor events that are associated with vaccines or that are supposedly attributable to vaccines. And the goal is so that we continue to ensure that our public is confident that we are providing a safe and effective, proven intervention that controls diseases.
Facilitator of the workshop is Kenroy.
The workshop is part of a series of ESAVI trainings that we've been conducting throughout the Caribbean and the Americas, and we have been doing that over the last 6 months. So I want you to take advantage of our presence, of myself, my other colleague here, Victor Osorio, and our other colleagues who are from headquarters who will be joining us virtually. Ask as many questions as you need to ask, get all your concerns addressed, and make the most of this opportunity.
Nursing Officer Nestor Edwards is hopeful that the training will reinforce the country's capability to respond to diseases should the need arise.
Building capacity in areas such as this would only strengthen our ability as a healthcare system to respond, in an appropriate manner to events of public health conditions. We've had many of them within the recent years, such as Ebola. We've just coming out of the COVID pandemic. And so our ability as a healthcare system to respond to those conditions are very, very important.
One-week workshop will focus on strengthening Grenada's surveillance capacities in events that attribute to vaccination or immunization. The workshop, which began on Monday, November 7th, will culminate on Friday, November 11th. Christina John, GBN News.
2.5 years after the death of Chanel Alexis, her accused murderer Mitch Phillips stands trial in the High Court. That's what's creating a buzz on social media.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
Mitch Phillips now faces the High Court for the alleged death of his girlfriend, Chanel Alexis of St. Mark, as the trial now gets underway. The non-capital murder case brought against Victoria St. Mark resident Mitch Phillips in connection with the May 30th, 2020 death of his 23-year-old common-law wife, Chanel Alexis, commenced at the St. George's No. 1 High Court on Monday. The matter gets underway nearly 1 year after the 51-year-old Philip was committed to stand trial in the High Court for non-capital murder at the end of his preliminary inquiry before Magistrate Francine Foster at the Victoria Magistrates Court in November 2021. Social media users took to the comment section to share their thoughts about this development. The following views are that of members of the public and not of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Shadeen Thomas says, all you take real long with this. Pray justice is served. Rachel Charles says, I'm surprised they had to call in someone from Trinidad who examined the evidence that something was pushed inside her, as well as there being restraint marks. And the findings by our experts were inconclusive. Rachel Charles further added, I'm just so shocked that our investigators couldn't assess this. It sounds so straightforward. Solomon Christopher concludes and questions. The woman had botched abortion. If that's the case, and she agreed, who did the procedure? And if it's him, the charge should be involuntary manslaughter.
That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Still ahead, online users encouraged to see themselves in cyber as Grenada recognizes Cyber Awareness Month.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Saturday, 12th November. Come witness 2 huge games at the Granny James Athletic Stadium from 7 p.m. Hurricanes Sports Club versus 5 Stars St. Andrews. And Game 2, St. John Sports versus Paradise FC International. Then after the games, we get set for the trending Jamaican artist, Silk Moss. Silk Moss. And from Barbados, Marsville. Also the Red Alert Band, Little Jello, and Temptress. Admission $30, bleachers $40 main stand. The 12th edition of the Wagiti Super Knockout is on. Don't miss a game.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Hello again. It's not always a good decision to click on a given link. Online users must make smart choices to remain safe in cyberland. Just one of the messages being sent as Grenada observes Cyber Awareness Month. Cherry Blackman-Stephen has this report.
Many Grenadians find themselves caught in scams online despite warnings from officials. The latest scam the Grenada National Cybersecurity Incident Response Team warned against is a United Kingdom visa sponsorship and employment phishing scam. The many enticing deals may just be the bait to lure you into cybercrime net. November is dedicated to Cyber Awareness Month in Grenada, and it is celebrated under the theme, See Yourself in Cyber. This team seeks to heighten the focus and awareness that every organization and individual who engages on the internet has a role to play in keeping themselves and the larger ecosystem safe. ICT Minister Lennox Andrews spoke about the significance of the theme.
The theme is driven by the fact that as we go about our daily lives, using online platforms to engage in education, e-commerce, business, and for social or recreational purposes, there are hackers and phishers who are rigorously attempting to attack, to break into systems, steal information, or blackmail people and organizations, often leaving trauma and financial ruin behind.
He said that the number and severity of cyber attacks have escalated during the COVID-19 pandemic. Scams are identified not just internationally, but locally. Minister Andrews said this is why we all have a role to play in our own cybersecurity as we seek to safely and respectfully navigate the cyber landscape. He outlined their focus areas during the month.
During the month, we will focus on 4 main areas. These are using strong passwords, enabling multi-factor authentication, updating software, and recognizing and reporting phishing. Strong passwords are like strong locks. Multi-factor authentication is like double locks and deadbolts. Updating software is similar to putting on some additional safety features like alarm systems or burglar bars. And recognizing and reporting phishing is the same as ensuring that the only people or things who enter your safe home are those who you trust to bring into the sanctity of that space.
Minister Andrews said that his ICT ministry will undertake several activities across the country, engaging stakeholders to raise the bar of awareness and engender a response among Grenadians throughout the month.
Among the activities organized will be cyber awareness radio quizzes, a panel discussion which will be held in conjunction with the FIU and the cyber forensic units of the RGPF, a Beyond the Headlines television program, and a series of primary and secondary schools cyber security outreach programs. Grenadians, we are all aware of the amazing advantages which the internet affords, but we must recognize that there are inherent traps and pitfalls which await us. We are safe in cyber only if we make the right choices.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Theophilus Albert Marichaux is one of the key figures in the political history of Grenada and the West Indies Federation, respected by all segments of society. This evening, his contribution to society is being depicted in one of the buildings he owned. It's time to take a peek through the GBN ISO lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
The T.A. Marichaux Community College is happy to share with us photographs of a replica of the original Marichaux house. The dwelling home built by Theophilus Albert Marichaux, which now houses the UE Open Campus, Grenada. This replica was built by Mrs. Angelica Griffith, a member of TAMCC's library staff. It is made out of cardboard in honor of Marichaux Day, which is celebrated annually on November 7th. And that's T.A. Marichaux's birthday. Sarah Porter for sharing this submission with our viewers. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
The weather up next, followed by the sports news and around the globe.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom.
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Relax into the comforting scent of Beep Cotton Flower Air Freshener. Put the finishing touch on your personal sanctuary with Beep for a happy, healthy home.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily Pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play Pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy and slightly hazy with light to moderate brief to scattered showers and the possible isolated thunder shower. All right, we can tell you too, tonight's minimum temperature, 25 degrees Celsius. There's a warning in effect, minor flooding, small-scale slides possible in vulnerable areas. Wind east-northeasterly to easterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Sea slides to moderate. Waves 3 to 5 feet in open water. Tides low at 10 p.m., high at 4:15 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:03. The weather on Wednesday, November 9. Partly cloudy to overcast, slightly hazy and breezy, with brief to scattered showers, which may be heavy at times and accompanied by thunder. On Thursday, November 10, partly cloudy to overcast and breezy, with brief to scattered showers, which may be heavy at times and accompanied by thunder. And on Friday, November 11, partly cloudy to cloudy with some light to moderate, brief to widely scattered showers and the possible isolated thunder. That's the weather. Good evening, sporting fans. South City Rising Stars and MacDonald College are the overall winners in the Ministry of Sports Blue Bubbles Cross Country Championship. Over 200 athletes representing schools and clubs participated in the final. The event took place last Friday on the golf course in St. George. Runners competed in various categories: under 15, under 17, and 17 plus. 3 preliminary races were held as a build-up to last Friday's final. We can tell you too, the national event forms part of the ministry's sporting calendar aimed at building endurance capacity ahead of the individual school athletic meets. The following are the top 3 positions for individuals in each category. Under 17 girls, first place, Kanaya Phillips, St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville. Second place, Rachel Linton, St. Mark's Secondary. Third place, Abigail Williams, MacDonald College. Under 17 boys, first place, Nicholas Frederick, Booker Secondary. Second place, Jamil Albert, Grenada Christian Academy. Third place, Shem Smith, J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary. We move now to under 15 girls. First place, Samaya Henry, Anglican High. Second place, Kate Fletcher, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary. Third place, Ariana James, St. Joseph's Convent. Under 15 girls, under 15 boys, first place, Keith Charles, Grenada Christian Academy. Second place, Jordan Hazard, South City Rising Stars. Third place, Nikhil Courtney, Grenada Christian Academy. All right, let's talk 17 plus girls. First place, Anjali Matthew, St. Mark's Secondary. Second place, Francesca Henry, MacDonald College. And third place, Cavalisha Joseph, St. David's Catholic Secondary. And 17 plus boys now. First place, Tyrone Jacob, South City Rising Stars. Second place, Livron Thorne, Ace Track Club. Third place, Miguel Cape, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary. Meanwhile, we caught up with head coach of South City Rising Stars, Lee Cuffey, who was still in celebratory mode.
Yes, well, we had some people that did very well. As noted, this competition has been contested in 3 divisions. We had the under 15. Now, our leading performer there was actually a student from the St. Dominic's RC named Jordan Hazard. He came in second out of some 40-something athletes. We had some others that was up in the ranks too as well. But he gave us our best position, and as a result, we were second in that division. At the under 17 division, we had our best performer was Kyle Alexis. He came in 7th, and we had some other top performers too as well. We came in 3rd in that division, and in the 17 plus division, our top performer was Tyrone Jacob. He actually won that division, and we had Shaquem Williams, who came in 4th, and Kyron Henry, who came in 11th. So that gave us some good points, good tally going in. As a result, all was merged, and as I stated earlier, we were victorious at the end.
According to him, the national championship is a critical component to an athlete's preparation regimen.
Well, going forward, I can only see betterment because, as I said, this is basically the general preparation phase, and I'm not surprised that we pulled out the victory because most coaches and clubs who function with the proper mechanism as it relates to training, we all know that this phase should be more for strength gains and endurance gain. So we place so many emphasis on that it paid off to the end. As I say, we came out victorious. So moving forward, we expect to continue with our dominance as a club, right? In the meets ahead, the mini meets, the relay meets. Athletes will be going on to intercall as well as the character game. We have some that will be qualifying for World Games as well, and the Commonwealth Games at the youth level, which will be held in Tobago this year. We're looking forward to those meets. So I can see the club making significant strides and giving a good account of themselves in the upcoming meets.
Well, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary and Happy Hills Secondary currently sit top of their zones in the senior division of the Ministry of Sports Classic Lighting Caribbean Secondary Schools Football Tournament. 9 matches were played yesterday. Starting in Zone A, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary enjoys a 4-game win streak. Their latest victory was a 4-0 beating of their arch-rival GBSS. MacDonald College was also in winning form yesterday. They edged out a 3-2 win over Booker Secondary. Here are the results of some other matches played. Carriacou beat Wesley College 1-0. Happy Hill Secondary beat St. Rose Modern Secondary 7-2. St. John's Christian Secondary beat PBC 2-1. St. David's Catholic Secondary defeated Grenada Christian Academy 2-0. Grenville Secondary pounded Westmoreland Secondary 12-0. J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary trounced Westerhall Secondary 4-1. And Grenada Seventh-day Adventist Comprehensive Secondary whipped the St. George's Institute 7-2. That is the sports news for now. The north of St. Lucia was pounded by heavy rainfall caused by a trough, leaving a trail of infrastructural damage in its wake from flash floods and landslides. The densely populated low-lying communities in the burgeoning suburbs of the northern corridor of St. Lucia were no match for the incessant downpours and unmitigated power of the raging flash floods on Sunday. Although there was no loss of life, a number of residents incurred damage to their homes and property.
Heavy rains on Sunday unleashed untold havoc in the northern part of the island, leading to massive flooding. Residents in the flood-stricken areas, including Corinth, Grand Riviere, and Bexor, watched in horror as the rain-battered pavements were left submerged as roads were transformed into rivers. The overtopped banks of the tributaries of the Grand Riviere and Corinth rivers inundated the narrow pathways of the nearby suburbs, with gushing water that tossed cars around like toys, drowned concrete homes, and left residents neck-deep. Some hapless homeowners, including Asucanal Grand Riviere resident Hayden Alcindor, recounted the terrifying experience of being trapped in the house as powerful torrents overwhelmed his riverside property. The Bossejou area also experienced heavy flooding. Grizzly MP Kenson Casimir, who was on ground Sunday, witnessed firsthand the unmitigated destructive power of Mother Nature's wrath. The Castries southeast and perennial flood zone was not spared from the torrential rains, with scenes of destruction still evident throughout Bexor. MP for the area and Minister for Social Transformation Joachim Henry provided details on measures to be implemented to bring residents relief. He warns individuals of the importance of acquiring permits and planning approval before building construction. The National Emergency Management Organization, Government and Infrastructure Ministry are taking stock of the damage in the aftermath of the upper level trough. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
Severe flooding there in St. Lucia. Guyana has now joined forces with the Health Ministry in Brazil to immunize people living in Lethem and Bonfim from diseases that can be treated and avoided through vaccination.
A collaboration between the Guyana and Brazil health ministries has been embarked upon to immunize persons living in both countries from diseases that can be treated and avoided through vaccination. The campaign, D-Day, will make accessible vaccines from the National Vaccination Schedule. Speaking at the launch on Saturday in Bonfim, Guyana's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Narain Singh, said given the close proximity between Guyana and Brazil, collaboration to stem disease outbreaks are important. Notably, the campaign was launched with the intent of targeting residents of Lethem, a community with a low vaccination rate against the deadly coronavirus. In addition, the constant movement of persons between Region 9 and Brazil signifies the importance of strengthening immunization within the region. Dr. Narain added that Guyana, which has a high vaccination uptake of a yearly 95 to 98%, can hopefully help to increase the uptake seen in Brazil. According to the technical consultant of Foreign Affairs, Fernanda Manara, who represented the Brazilian Minister of Health, the campaign is a momentous program that will save lives. This is among several joint programs that have been rolled out for Guyanese through the aid of Brazil. Guyana has benefited from ventilators and protective equipment that were needed during the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Guyana Health Ministry is currently collaborating to provide nurses with necessary training programs through the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and an agreement has been signed for Brazil to help strengthen Guyana's security and surveillance to fight and prevent crime. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Lazina Yearwood.
Further afield, over the weekend, a passenger plane crashed into Lake Victoria, Tanzania, leaving at least 19 people dead. NBC News' Kelly Cabela has more on how a mass burial took place as the country and families grieve.
Rescuers in Tanzania frantically trying to save victims after a passenger plane crashed into Lake Victoria over the weekend, killing at least 19 people. The flight, which took off from Tanzania's coastal city of Dar es Salaam, carrying 39 passengers and ending in chaos after it failed to land in Bukoba. Officials say storms and heavy rain as the plane approached the airport may have contributed to the crash. The two pilots died. A senior administrator for the Tanzanian government telling Reuters they initially survived and were in touch with rescue workers from the cockpit before communicating their oxygen supply was running low. They were dead when emergency responders reached them, now leaving some questions unanswered.
How bad was that weather? Were the flight crew members properly trained? Were they following policies and procedures? Was there a mechanical problem?
One rescue worker detailing the tense moments after the plane plunged into Africa's largest lake. People opened the emergency door, but as we would try to rescue people, water would surge in. I rescued 7 people myself, he said. Harrowing images from the scene show the aircraft almost fully submerged as emergency responders coordinated rescue efforts from small boats, even wading into the water. This accident comes 5 years after another plane crash in northern Tanzania that killed 11.
A reminder of the headlines after this. A reminder of the headlines: heavy downpours leave parts of St. George and St. David flooded. Medical officers warn of the complications and seriousness of diabetes as they see increase in diabetic patients. Online users encouraged to see themselves in cyber as Grenada recognizes Cyber Awareness Month. And around the globe, regionally, Guyana joins forces with Brazil on vaccination campaign. Internationally, mass burial held in Tanzania for 19 victims of plane crash on Sunday. Plus, in the sports news, McDonald College and South City Rising Stars cop top positions in cross-country championship. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, our GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. That's it from us to the newsroom for now. Good night.